Yeah, there's a lot. Prom was a lot.
Prom was a lot.
Yeah.
We can. You know what? You want to do the Henshin video? You want to do that Henshin video?
Yeah,
here?
we can.
Yeah. Let's start. Let's start with it.
I think we're live actually.
What? Oh my God!
Gosh, you guys.
Welcome.
Let's see who we got here. Yeah, everybody. Still coming.
Welcome,
back.
guys. Thanks for sticking around.
Yeah.
If you were here for Ranger wrap-up, thank you. If you're here just for Henshin Hangout, thank you.
Yeah, that was abrupt. It was very abrupt.
All right, who do we got here? We got 4. Right on.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
There you go.
Welcome.
Perfect. Whoa. All right.
Hi, I'm Justin.
I'm Jezzer, and we're missing somebody.
We're missing another J.
Johnny.
Henshin bro.
Johnny sacrificed himself trying to take down evil. He used the blizzard grease.
And then he just like
Yeah,
punched
yeah.
into the
Yep. Oh
darkness,
my
and then I started
gosh.
crying.
We'll
get to all
we'll
of
get
that.
to that. We have this habit of starting off with Lupat first, and then we'll dive into some
But
Kamen Rider build.
let's see who we got in the chat room
Who
right
we
now.
got in the chat right
We got Leha. Hello.
Layla.
Layla. We got Red Phoenix.
Yeah.
Was that
DDT.
DDT.
Yeah.
What's up?
We got Blackwing.
And hold on, we got
Blackwing,
Blackwing, Jared,
Edward Sanchez, Toku Kid.
Toku Kid.
Yeah, what's up, you guys?
Hey guys,
Thank you for,
Steve
showing up.
Rogers. Hey yo.
Steve Rogers.
Crab Stomp. We got 20 people. What
Dang.
up? People are popping. Thank you guys so much for coming to this show.
Jezzer with the hurt. What does that mean?
But Jezzer with the hurt.
Oh, I think he's talking about Greece.
Oh yeah, no,
yeah.
he's starting right to the heart,
It
hitting you
is
right in the heart.
crazy. It's crazy.
We will definitely talk about that in a moment. But obviously, before we get into that, I kind of want to show a little bit of some footage I actually shot during Power MorphCon. You might have heard of it.
And it's Henshin related, Super Sentai related.
It absolutely is. I was lucky enough to do check out the panel for the Super Sentai Legends panel, and this was a blast. We had the original actors who were from Kaku Ranger, who was Ninja Red, and we had Kiba Ranger, who was the White Ranger from Die Ranger. AKA I did a video about him, and I was very mean in the video.
We wanted to set that interview up for you, but the person I was running is like, only one question, and I don't know when he's gonna be able to do it. I was like, oh,
that's fine.
yeah.
It was a good overall. It was a good panel. The fun part of the panel. It's funny because Jezzer, you mentioned about this in the Ranger wrap up about how certain actors are a little they're just not comfortable when they have to do a morph.
Yeah.
Now what's funny is that in Japan it's actually expected. It's expected to do it. So the Sentai actors all did their morph. But what was really cool is one of the people on the panel was a suit actor named Yasuhiro Takuchi, who has been in the business since the 80s.
Really?
He's been playing.
Was he a kid? Was he like a young kid?
Yeah, he was a young kid, and he was playing grunts. And he eventually graduated to being the suit actor for several Rangers. Yeah. And so I was able to shoot some footage of him doing his roll call pose, and you get to see which ones he got to play. He's still doing the job till recently. Keep watching.
Cool.
That, as you can see, he's had a long history.
I bet, man.
Being in that suit, wearing those helmets, and yes, up to even Lupin Blue. So he's still working. He's still doing the job. And if you caught that, the last one he did was Blue Buster, which will become
Go Busters.
which is Beast Morphers, which
Beast
would become
Morphers.
yeah. So
Go
Go Busters. It was from Go Busters, but no. So yeah, he's been at this for a while. So yeah, that was a really fun panel, and I was really glad to like capture that footage. And yeah, it's kind of cool to see like the history of how long he's been doing this. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, but hope you guys liked that video, and
thank you for grabbing that, by the way.
oh no, it was my pleasure. I was really excited to put that together. Okay, enough of that.
How long did it take you? Buddy?
Couple of like about to get the footage because I had to hunt. I had to find out which ones he did. Some of the ones I knew which pose he was doing right away.
So like with the ones that you didn't know, how did you figure it out?
I had to wiki his resume. I had to find him out. I had to look up his resume online, and some of the information was actually a little wrong. Because like one of the poses was like, oh, he's Kyoru Green, and which is from Kyoranger, which we became Dino Charge here.
So you're matching it up.
I was matching up, and I looked at the pose of Kyoru Green, and I went, that's not what that is.
Yeah,
and then a friend of mine actually looked at it and went, that's Kyoru Black. Ooh, looked it up again. You're right. That's Kyoru Black.
The one that intrigued me most is the one where he's running back and forth.
Gokai Green.
Gokai Green. What's the story in the show about?
Well,
that?
in the show, if you're familiar with Gokai Green is famous for kind of running around scurrying while being chased by the bad guys, and so he'll like do a bunch of ducking and jumping and like looking like he's afraid. So that's him doing his interpretation, his short-term version of it, which I thought was hilarious. Because when how it worked is that like someone in the audience or the moderator of the panel would be like, say a ranger name, so they'll be like Geki Blue, do Geki Blue, okay, do Gokai Green, and so that's how he jumped to doing those poses. And yeah, no, it's the Blackwing. That was Blackwing. You're right. Like the Geki Blue pose is so cool that he can still do it. It's like fluid, you know, and and it's eerie when I was grabbing the footage, putting it next to him
because it was like in sync.
Yeah, it's super crazy.
It's like he's visualizing in his head, or it's muscle memory kind of. So I thought that was pretty amazing.
We have a new person in the chat. His name is Isaac.
Oh, hello, Isaac.
What up, Isaac? You got the shout out. Congrats. That's all you need to do. Just ask very nicely.
Got the shout out.
All right. So that was PMC and my experience with that with Super Sentai. So why don't we go ahead and jump into Lupat. We're gonna go pretty quick because we got two episodes.
Two episodes each. So let's do our top favorite moments from each episode.
So we got this is episode 27.
27, yes. This is a weird episode.
It's a weird episode.
It's a very weird episode.
In this episode, Toma gets tricked by Gangler, or mind-controlled by Gangler, to join his dojo, which turned out to not really be a dojo. It was
an aerobics class.
It was an aerobics
class.
Yeah.
And then, what you call it? Was there?
Sakuya was his assistant. And yes, he was learning...
He thought it was some form of martial arts.
Right.
And then, like, later down the line when they were doing it, Toma started realizing, this is aerobics. And then, like, their clothes changed into
weird aerobic gear, and the Gangler is still trying to trick Toma.
But he's still doing it, though.
Yeah.
He's still going through the motions. I mean, his face is angry, obviously, but he's still going through the motions and doing it just because... Is it mind control, or is it, like, he just...
I think it's mind control. It's some sort of mind control, because the Gangler is really trying to force this on Toma. Anytime Toma thinks... It
seems like the Gangler's persistent. It's not so much like he's, like, controlling you the whole way.
Well, he's convincing him very quickly.
Yes,
because, like, Toma's, like, every time Toma thinks... He's like, no, wait, I'm on top of this. This is stupid. The Gangler's like, no, you're fine. This is exactly what you want to be doing. You're right. This is exactly what I want to be doing.
I don't know if I missed it, but did they show him getting...
Here's my question. If you've been watching this episode, do you think Sakuya actually was controlled, or do you think he's just that gullible?
I think he may be just that gullible.
That's what I was thinking. I don't think...
Because there's the scene where he's supposed to deliver the gift or whatever.
And I think that's the only time he got controlled by that Gangler.
You think that's the only time? So the whole rest of the time, he is just being him.
He thought, oh, I'm so good at this martial arts that this master is allowing me to be an assistant, even though it's 3 weeks.
You know who he reminds me of? That's definitely a friend of the show. He's been on he reminds me a lot of Daryl. Like very much. So.
I can see there's an element of Daryl with Sakuya. I could see that.
Yeah, I think if he were to be a ranger, he'd be
a pet.
yeah, he's probably the closest one.
I could see that.
Yeah.
No offense to Daryl. No. So, to safely say, this is the comedy episode.
Yeah.
Hardcore comedy episode. You know what bit oh wait, super chat.
Super chat from Toku.
Toku Kid, Lupat isn't really doing much. It's falling flat.
You don't think so?
Well, okay.
I think so.
Here's the thing. If I can be honest,
Totally honest.
I like the show still. I'm not losing faith in it, but I will point something out. There's a thing that I feel like that happens when I watch Sentai, when we get around to this chunk of these episodes. Okay. Episode 27 on. I called this chunk the dragging period.
You think so?
Yeah, every Sentai show has it for me.
Okay.
It's like, they're a strong first 10. Then a really decent, 10 to 15. And then all around 20, for me, around 25 on till maybe episode 30-ish.
Yeah.
Or 35-ish. They start dragging for me. They start feeling like they're running around in circles. And I start getting kind of bored with it. Because I feel like they're just trying to find ways to fill in time. So an episode where Toma is being forced to learn aerobics fits that category pretty well. I'm not defending that. I want to point that out.
They're a good way almost. They're almost halfway through the series, and we still haven't got enough development for the Patrangers.
Yeah.
So I think they're really missing something.
It's not flawless. I want to point something out. Whenever I think of the show right now, I think I like the show just fine. I'm being more patient with it, because I feel like it could lead to some better stuff, but I also feel like right now it's fine.
Compared to Q-Ranger, which one did you like better?
Can I be real honest? I still like this more than Q-Ranger.
Why?
Because Q-Ranger forgets half its cast.
There are some episodes where
way too many times. Tell me Spada's really emotional episode.
But
tell me Spada's hardcore emotional episode where you really got him as a character outside of Gratsu.
That movie episode, I guess.
No, that doesn't count.
Tell
me episodes that Garo really became a real character outside of being, and then he got dumb at some point. I don't know when did that.
He got super dumb at one point.
No, there's a lot I like about Q-Ranger.
So you're saying because they neglect half the cast?
Yeah, and for a show called
just like this show, where they neglect half
the cast,
they
don't neglect the cast nearly as much as they do with Q-Ranger.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't tell you a single thing about Spada.
Really?
But I can say a lot more about Sakuya, Keiichiro, and Tsukasa than I can about those guys.
Okay, well,
it's a personal taste, but
I did enjoy Q-Ranger a little bit more than I
I don't hate it. I like it.
Start to finish, I got roped in, or I got kind of sucked in immediately.
Right.
From the first few episodes. With this one, I'm still trying. I'm still fighting my way through some of these episodes.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
I think I will agree that the Patrangers are
comedic.
Are being left behind right now.
They are definitely being left behind.
I will 100% admit to that, especially with the next episode.
And I thought with them bringing in Noel that he was gonna kind of incorporate them into the storyline, but no, he's just just strictly jumped right into the Lupinranger.
I have a problem with Noel.
What's your problem with Noel?
I'm not interested with him anymore.
You don't care about him.
I don't care.
But initially, you thought he was gonna be a good addition to the show.
I thought when he started off fine, I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna be interested. I'm liking where he could be going. But the problem is, he's still in the same places where we met him, which is, I know everything, I'm aware of everything, and I've got complete control of the situation.
Yes.
And he's gotta eventually learn a lesson where he doesn't have to be that confident anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for that episode.
And
I think they're building to that episode.
There were some signs of him being a little bit vulnerable in these episodes. Definitely, he has a horse in this race now.
Right.
They didn't explain it, but there is something in his backstory.
Right.
That's pushing him forward to continue with the Lupinrangers.
And we'll see how it goes. So you want to point out one of my favorite little details?
Yeah.
One of my favorite comedy beats in this app?
What's that?
Toma's irritation level.
Ooh, that was another funny one.
Yeah.
Because it started off like, oh, you're gonna call me sir, or you're gonna call me senpai. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do this, and he's just just angry. And
you know what's a really good line he says in his brain? Is at one point, as Sakuya is explaining how he became his assistant, Toma's like, Sakuya, I'm begging you. can't you see how weird this is?
This episode was so weird. At one point, it's like, "Hey, do you think Umika would like some jelly snacks?" And he's just like, his level just keeps going.
I can't take this.
They're the two characters to put together. It's perfect to put them together.
These are, agreed.
Opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And Tuma is just straightforward. He's super serious, and then
Sakuya is a big old klutz. And
oh my god.
No, the bit I like too. I forgot to mention this. This is another joke I like, was where like Kairi and Umika's asking Noah, was like, okay, so Toma's being controlled, but is Sakuya being controlled? And Noah flashes back at an incident, just a daily, a daily thing at the PlayStation. He's like, could you help me fix this? I don't know how to do this. And it just cuts Noah going, nah, no, he's the same.
He's like, he kept going back and forth between his teammates.
We got super chat.
Super chat from Red Phoenix. Would you want this after Beast Morphers or Q Ranger first?
To be adapted, I think
they're leaning towards Q.
I think Q.
Yeah.
I would like to see Q first for sure. Yes.
They could go with this next though.
They could.
There is a possibility.
But there's a lot to do. I feel like Q Ranger might be easier to adapt than this show. I think so. Yeah. Do you think they'd stay close to the original story or not? I wouldn't say that, but I'd say like Star Wars Sentai is easier to adapt versus like
especially with cops in America. That's not...
DDT asks, can I have the level bar in my real life? That'd be a good app.
Oh, we should probably have a level bar like on the show and make it, What was another? I think another of my favorite things is towards the end where it's the robot fight.
Yeah.
Where he realizes that he went through all this trouble.
Yeah.
He paid so much money.
Yeah.
And it was all a hoax. And then he's just so mad, and he was doing the Fortnite dance.
He was. You're right. He was. This was amazing. I will point out when he realized he got conned, and this is my favorite part, is him going up to Pat Ichigo and going, "Give me the robots now," and he's like, "Yeah, sure."
No, they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Totally fine. Why don't you have it?
He felt bad about his wasted time, and then his teammates, they're kind of like reassured him.
Yeah.
They're like, "You're not. No, it wasn't all a waste of time. we lost some weight.
Oh no, you did. You look great.
Yeah.
And even Saku's like, "Oh, you guys."
It's great. He's like the little brother that you just have to comfort and say, "Oh, it's gonna be fine. You made a mistake.
Yeah,
things will be good."
It's not all comedy. There's a little bit I like at the very end too, where Toma actually gives Sakuya his respect, because the whole episode is him going, he hates the idea of calling him senpai, calling him sir. But after seeing how he was screwed, I like that even Toma's like, you know what?
Looks like you got your payback,
sir.
But it was for a split second. It was serious, and then.
Oh yeah, and then the team just mock him for his aerobic dancing.
And it was
again.
great because they were in sync, and there's a point where they're like right behind him. They're just kind of mocking him. I love these characters. The Lupinrangers are probably my favorite because going to even in the next episode we get a little deeper story of the Lupinrangers, even though we don't necessarily need it right now.
Right.
But we do.
Why would we jump into that?
Yeah, let's jump into that.
We'll jump. We got 3 more episodes to talk about, folks. So we gotta.
So in this episode, we got to meet Umika's dad.
What?
He was great. He came in there. He thought something was going on. Started chasing Kairi around.
Yeah, when he thought that Kairi was Umika's playboy boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did angry dad and started chasing him around the town.
Literally around town.
Literally around town.
To the point where they bump into ganglers and get all into this crazy mess. But we see that how she ended up at the restaurant is after the whole incident where she lost her friend. She just left home.
Yeah.
And we know that she was she still kept in contact with her mom, but there was a divide between her and her father. And the reason why he came is because it was her birthday.
Yeah. She's turning 19 again,
which is crazy.
Which is crazy because I am an old man watching this show.
Yeah, I feel a little dirty.
Don't tell me why. Now, but no, should we find out her 19th birthday, and it's a kind of that actually leads to a pretty nice scene too with her and Toma.
Yeah.
As they're kind of looking around, investigating some stuff.
So Kairi is kind of preoccupied with her dad because they just encountered the Gangler, and then so Umika and Toma investigate the hideout of the Gangler.
Right.
Where they get to talk about their history, and he had said something like, "Oh, his fiance's father had blamed him for her disappearance too."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, it's your birthday." We had no idea. It's like, it's fine. I don't know your guys' birthday. So going into the show, you think that they're like really close friends, but they're really not. It's more like colleagues, more like coworkers. It's not until this episode where you kind of see that they're developing a deeper relationship with each other.
I really like that.
Great.
I do. I really like that a lot. No, especially the fact that she was like, he always treat me like a kid, and Toma is realizing like, I didn't realize I did that.
Yeah,
like, well,
and that's something that she's been holding on for a while.
Yeah.
So obviously she wants to be respected by her teammates, but because of her young age, or they just don't, they downplay a lot of the stuff that she's saying. And now Toma knows.
Now Toma knows.
Yeah, so
agreed.
That was a great scene in the episode where we get to realize that they're becoming friends, but they're not necessarily friends.
Yeah, and I like what you said. I do like that's a good point. Like it feels like at first, they're clearly like in sync with each other right now, right?
Definitely.
Not realizing that they're not there yet.
No.
Moving on from that, what else we got in this episode?
What else?
We got let me go while you're looking for that. Pink. Yes, that's right. Tsukasa. I will say in this episode, we are once again, Tsukasa is the smartest one in the room, as she's catching on to whatever Noel's deal is.
Because Noel gave the Gangler in this episode was able to phase in and out of walls.
Yeah.
So we'll go to this next one where Noel gave the Red Ranger a bow, right? And it's a submarine. It's a submarine that
it's a submarine that turns into I think a blimp.
It's a blimp
that turns into a bow, and it's awesome.
This blimp is actually really awesome. This is probably one of my favorite little Zord pieces.
Yeah, actually agreed, and it's probably one of the coolest action sequences.
Super dynamic.
Yeah.
Super dynamic.
But this is what's interesting here is seeing the fact that like Tsukasa and the gang, the rest of the team, are kind of like confronting Noel, like, you made that. It's like, yeah. And
so what do you think? What's going on through her head right now?
I think we're slowly, and maybe arguably too slowly, I would say to that, slowly building up on a resentment to Noel
from the Patranger,
from the Patranger,
or just her. You think?
Well, she's gonna I would assume this. I think Keiichiro's like red flag joke, kind of intended, is popping up when it concerns Noel. I think this is where Tsukasa is gonna start investigating kind of on her own to see what's his deal, because right now the thing they have to deal with Noel is like, you just gotta let him do his thing, and everyone in the team's like, why? Why do we have to let him do his thing?
Yeah, it's definitely, there's something going on, but I know she's figuring it out, but she's also like one of the ones that could bring the teams together also.
True.
We saw that in the last episode before
with her and Kairi.
With her and Kairi, where it was a Keiichiro in the cockpit, but then they switched it up because he was just so irrational and didn't see the big picture.
Right.
And what's his name?
Noel?
No, Goody. Made the decision to bring her in because he knew that she would probably be the most rational, the person that could bring these two teams together.
Yeah.
I wasn't here for that episode, but that episode was probably one of my favorites of the season because it's bringing them together.
I agreed, and that's a really cool. I think that's a sign of, and that to me that's why I'm still really interested in the show so far. Is that,
don't get me wrong, I haven't totally given up on it. I'm still
don't misunderstand my misunderstanding.
I'm still clearly my favorite episode is the scavenger hunt one. Still, to this day, that is my favorite.
Oh, that's a great app. Yeah. I agree. I think for me, it's like, I will say this about the shows, right? I am looking forward to when we get to the end where they have to team up.
They have to.
And that's the thing I've always been curious about with the show, is that how long can they keep playing the versus game? Because that's the show's title. It's a versus show.
I could see them still keeping it going.
Yeah.
Even after realizing who they are, or like,
Mm-hmm.
but I can still see them still working separate.
Yeah, and that's where I'm still invested in, because I can see, I'm with you. I'm looking forward to seeing where and how they're going to play up some things to keep the drama of them being at each other's throats is still going to play in.
Yeah.
I will agree that right now we're in the place where I was worried when the show started that it didn't do for a while, and now it is.
Yeah.
It's Lupin heavy.
Very Lupin heavy.
Yeah. Very, very Lupin heavy. You have do you have the
what?
is that the suit? Is that the bow? Sweet.
The bow is amazing.
I love the bow. It looks cool.
It kind of a little bit when it came out. That kind of looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh card thing.
Oh, it totally does.
Yeah. But the bow was great. I thought that it was a great new weapon that they could use. I mean, they've been using that boomerang and shield thing for a while.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
great to have a new weapon in the arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like, again, the Lupinrangers are getting to test out all these toys.
You got the cool toys,
Yeah.
but at least at the very least, it looks like the Patrangers are like, okay, what's going on?
They're figuring out that there's something going on, but
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, so
Sorry.
it's okay. Any other thoughts on this episode or the previous episode of Lupat?
They're decent.
Mm-hmm.
I like the previous episode from last week more. But I think I like the second one more than I like the first one because of the whole dynamic between Tuma and Umika.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And also Kairi with her dad, and you could see that there's a relationship developing with these three Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Noel's like on the outside looking in, trying to. He wants to be part of this team also.
Right.
He wants to be this. I think he's leaning more towards the Lupinrangers because he feels like there's a disconnect between him and the Patrangers right now. Because,
and there is.
Yeah, there's definitely a disconnect, and he has to play his cards right. He has to not make it so blatantly obvious that he's leaning more towards one side than the other.
Yeah.
In order for him to get away with stuff, in order for him to accomplish some of the things that we don't know what his major goals are right now, but to accomplish some of the things that he wants to do, he's gonna have to play ball with both sides.
Right. No, I agree.
And right now, it's so blatant that he's leaning towards one side.
He's giving the Lupats the edge, and the Patrangers are getting tired of it. No, agreed.
And it's fine, but it's definitely a.
Well, we gotta get to an end point.
Yeah,
soon.
we gotta get to an end point.
I agree.
You want to start another sad episode that we got coming up?
Well, folks, go ahead, keep commenting keep talking, and let us know what you think about these last few episodes of Lupat.
Oh my god!
But until we do that, we gotta move on because it's gonna get sad.
Yeah, very sad.
It's gonna get very sad. Here it is, episode 47 of Kamen Rider Build.
Uh-huh.
Are you okay? Are you ready?
It sucks because there's a lot of Power Ranger groups or Facebook groups that I follow on.
We got a...
super chat from Anthony Davis. We met him over the weekend.
That's right, we did.
He had 2 eyebrows, not 1. He had 2.
So glad you pointed that out.
Yeah.
$1. Thank you.
He didn't. Oh, he didn't say anything.
Didn't say anything. But hey, we're acknowledging it. So thank you.
Yeah. So I was saying that there's Facebook groups, and they spoiled it for me. They had the scene. I mean, it wasn't. There was no subs or anything, but they put it up immediately. I was like, no.
Everyone got their tissues ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
We'll start off with one of our favorite scenes is Rogue. What's his name?
Gentoku?
No, this one.
Utsumi.
Who it looked like it was gonna be a 3-on-1.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he said, "Oh no, the reason why he was working with Evault is because he knew that the rider system wasn't capable of doing it. So he kind of infiltrated Evault's team to get the new gear that he has."
Right. I will say one weird thing about it is that I'm a little. I guess that's showing the reach that Namba had with his children. That even though we saw that Namba is clearly a selfish, whimpering old man by his death,
but he demanded loyalty.
Yeah.
He demanded just love from his children, despite of what he actually gave them.
Yep.
They just had this blind devotion to him.
And which is really showed, which is interesting to me, because like it feels like to me like Sawa broke free from that.
Yeah.
But Utsumi is just so deep that he can't.
I feel like they didn't like expand too much on Namba's Namba and his children to like in this episode, or not in this episode, in this series.
I think it's a neat idea that's really cool that I agree with you. Yeah. Could have probably been explored a lot better.
And it would have made sense for. It would have given more purpose to Sawa's character.
Agreed.
It would make sense for the sacrifice that he made.
I agree.
The fact that they're just kind of like throwing it in right towards the end of the series,
it's a little weak.
It's a little much. That's one thing about Build. They want to do so much with a certain amount of episodes. They're just kind of squeezing things in. They
kind of get caught up in their own ideas, and yeah, I agree. Like they squeeze in and then like forget that there's like a little. Like a little side,
and it gets really confusing.
It gets really confusing.
So like,
this is not a super chat, but Layla asked, "When are you gonna do the Hot Wings challenge?"
Oh,
Jezzer?
When are you gonna be here next week?
I will be here next week.
Next week when Johnny comes back, because he's gonna bring the Hot Wings.
Did he say where he's gonna get the Hot Wings?
He did not. He's getting. The Hot
Wings. You're getting the Hot.
So, oh my god! So we had, if you guys don't
know, the word
know,
atomic was thrown. We
had a little bet. Me and Johnny had a bet. You weren't.
I wasn't here for that.
You weren't in on this, but you're gonna suffer through the.
What do you mean suffer? What I gotta suffer?
You're gonna eat the Hot Wings with us. So
no.
We had a little bet. We said that Grease was not gonna get a. I said he wasn't gonna get a
special form.
Special form. And then Johnny said that he was. The thing is that if either one of us lost, we were going to eat wings. So it didn't matter. We were going to eat wings regardless.
Right.
Toku with a super chat. Ever since they said parallel worlds, we knew exactly what would happen to each character, so it wasn't surprised by their deaths. Oh, man.
Well, I mean...
I didn't know that.
Well, like, I suspected, but that doesn't mean that I couldn't have been emotionally
So does that mean
ready for seeing the scenes?
Is it not the same person? If it's parallel worlds, it's not the same person that we grew to love?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, we'll see how that parallel world thing plays in.
Do they disintegrate in this world and pop up in that world?
See, that's what I was wondering, right? Because, like, there's a way to give everyone an ultimate happy ending in this show, and I don't know what they'll do. Maybe they'll do that and give the show a super happy ending, or maybe they'll leave you on a sad note. We'll find out.
Or is that parallel world, is that, like... heaven or something. Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like all the dead people are there.
Yeah, we'll find out, I guess. And we'll literally be here next week to talk about that up.
So that is interesting.
And Layla asks, she'll pray for you, Cookie Face. So good luck with that.
Pray for me. Oh yeah.
Yeah, deal with those things, man.
Yeah, definitely. What was another big one is Sawa's involvement. She was in cahoots. She was.
But in a good way.
Yes, definitely in a good way.
Yeah, Utsumi contacted Sawa to basically help out in the final battle.
We always joke about, like, what is her purpose in the show?
Yeah.
No purpose whatsoever other than, messing things up or, screwing things over. But
right. Or just not being used other than, like, hanging out with Misora.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say this as when we get to the show's end. Like, I feel like when they thought they figured out how to use Sawa, I'm like, great, awesome. And then they forgot.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, she's a spy.
We wrote it down somewhere. I don't remember where we wrote it down, but that's what happened.
Yeah, that's what the writers were like. Did you find those Sawa notes?
What was the Sawa? How,
no.
Do you remember how
what happened?
Sawa? Who's Sawa?
She's the other girl.
Yeah. One thing that with this I kind of like escaped me is I didn't understand the new bottles.
I don't. Hold on. I got 2 seconds. True. 1, 2, 3, 4 ABC. Justin, you owe me a shout out. Shout out. Is that good enough? I don't know. I'm gonna give it to him.
Okay.
True. What up?
I didn't understand the color bottles and the different panels. I think I missed it. I maybe like
the white panel was announced the episode before, but I gotta tell you, like sometimes, like even I get lost in the blue bottle, this bottle.
Because they're throwing so many stuff in.
Exactly, and they want you to buy all these toys.
Yeah.
Here's another big surprise in this episode is like Utsumi sacrificed himself.
Yes.
Guess what Utsumi is?
He's a cyborg. What? I mean, there's that ongoing joke. Oh, he's not real. He's a robot. He's definitely a robot.
Right.
But he became a robot after he got shot. So.
Side joke on that too is since he's technically a Kamen Rider, he will be the first Kamen Rider as a cyborg probably since the first Kamen Rider.
Really?
Yeah, because the Kamen Rider Hongo Takeshi Hongo, who was a cyborg.
Yeah.
That's his whole deal. It's like, I'm a cyborg that looks like a bug man. So Utsumi's the first cyborg Kamen Rider in a very, very, very long time.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he died. So it don't matter.
does that he had sacrificed himself for Sawa and Gentoku.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he's a cyborg, does that lessen the sacrifice?
I mean, unless he pops up next episode and punches out Evolve, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Probably, if that happens, yes.
I thought that was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. I agree. If
cool.
he does that, then yes, I will say it would cheapen his death. If he doesn't, all right, well, he sacrificed himself. There you go.
Now on to the heavy.
All right, do it.
So, Grease, or what's his name? See,
Kazumi?
I keep calling him Grease because Mitan keeps calling him Grease.
Kazumi.
Yeah. He got a hold of his new form, and he was facing the clones of his fallen brethren.
Yeah.
And he was told not to use it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you think? What do you think like made him decide to use that?
I feel like because he knows that this is the end game.
Really?
That he's pulling all stops on getting this done, and I think there's an element too of him. I think there's an element of obvious suicide run. He knows he's expecting that come out of it. You know.
Oh, he put up a fight too.
Yeah,
like
he did.
He went all out, and with him, Mitan was there the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they were trying to like fast track a relationship between them or some kind of connection between.
Well, I think the connection is simply because of the fact of like how much that Misora knows what Mitan means to Kazuman, that she will be there for his death because she knows what Mitan means to him and his friends and his people. So it almost felt like it was her responsibility to like inspire him to even hopefully keep him around longer than what he's planning on doing.
Yeah.
Again, shout out to Misora's actress who
she was amazing.
She always kills it in this show.
I think she's probably the best one on the show.
I 100% agree with that.
She was amazing, and the fact that this is quote unquote a kid show.
Yeah.
This like the acting in the show is just
top
off
notch.
the charts.
Yeah.
Off the charts for a kid show.
Oh, we got Toku Kid bringing in another super chat. Both writers died after getting upgrades. That's true. Kazuman was in Kamen Rider Kiva.
Really?
Yes, this is
and
his
do you
second.
think people forgot about it?
Oh no! I actually remember people who remembered his character in Kiva, hated his character in Kiva, and was a little like conflicted when he showed up. But then they eventually
look the same kind of.
It's just similar face, but I guess because I never saw Kiva, but I heard his character was particularly annoying. But I
like Grease.
Oh no! Everyone changed their mind and went, "Oh, Grease is great." That's a funny point. That's a funny point to bring up, Toku Kid. That's just this guy should just not get upgrades if he's in a Kamen Rider show again.
He is a red shirt from Star Trek.
Yeah, if you get an upgrade, maybe that's why he avoided a upgrade.
This whole time he avoided upgrade because he knew if he got that upgrade he's gonna die.
Maybe that's it. Probably not. But
but this scene was super heavy. This scene was probably one of the most emotional ones in this whole series.
It's saying a lot too. There's a lot that like this.
We've seen his friends die here and there, but you didn't really like have that connection with them. And every single person, going to the next clip, every single person within the team had a connection to him, and you could just tell like when they did that whole part where he's kicking and they just made it silent.
Yeah.
And then when she was bringing the bottles that she had to bring to Sento, and it was silent, the whole scene was silent. That was just amazing.
Oh
that was
God.
just amazing. It's just like
the emotion. It's the fact you saw all the range of everyone's version of their emotion, right? Like I love that Banjo. His reaction is to punch something, because that's what he does. You know. I think
the person that had probably the least connection with him was Jen, but he still felt something because they had a conversation about redemption.
Yeah.
That goes into the next episode, but redemption and feeling like he is worthy to carry on his father's legacy. Right. And that was coming from Grease. Like,
the fact that Grease said the words like, I forgave you, so you should, you're forgivable. Is basically what he's trying to say.
Which is, it was amazing. And then towards the end, of course, you got Evolt coming in,
just ruining.
Like a butthole.
Like a big old butthole.
Yeah. Which is great. Like, I got to watch these episodes, you know, run one after the other.
Yeah.
But for people that are watching it like 1 week and waiting the next week for that conclusion to this,
oh no,
it's crazy.
no! Having the last shot of this episode is Sentos screaming "Evolved" and like cut to next time. I'm like, great, gotta wait a week.
It was definitely, this episode is probably one of my favorite ones out of the series.
It's a really good one for sure.
It's all because of Mitan.
Sorry. She brings so much in the show. And not saying that she's like a slouch. Like, everyone's a slouch. I think Sento's actor is phenomenal in the show too. But no, Miso's actress is just got this amazing expression. Just great at being expressive in her face. And it's just...
There's the other episode where she was arguing with Sento, where like, don't you realize how many people care about you? Or he was like on that suicide mission. She's such a great actress.
No, her begging Cosmo to live is gut wrenching,
and the whole time is just his like oars just kind of dissipating into the air. It was amazing.
Okay, so everyone shake it off. Everyone good.
It was great. It was definitely good.
All right, next up, episode 48.
Oh man!
And it don't stop.
It doesn't. It does not. Stop.
It don't stop. The action keeps coming. This is another really good ep.
It is.
It's back-to-back hardcore.
One of my favorite scenes is where 3 of them are just running towards evil and just explosions just going off behind them. And those are practical effects.
Yes.
Those are definitely practical effects. So those suit actors are just blindly just running.
We got another super chat. Anthony Davis, I got the Splash driver in his honor. R.I.P. Kazuman. That's a very... Did you put the bottle in and just hear that sound one more time? And I swear, I think I saw a couple of I saw a Cosmic cosplayer at PMC, and I walked up and go, no God.
But yeah, this episode is great because we got the fight, and they're just, I think they're like going toe to toe with Evolt, but there was 3 of them, so it didn't make sense for them to be losing, or not losing, but like have such a hard time, especially since I was under the impression that the genius form was about on par with Evolt's powers.
But I guess not. It's sort of, it's kind of I don't know how to put it, but like it's they never really explain how powerful he is. In some places with that suit.
And I'm not totally on board with the final form of Evolt. It's just kind of.
It looks like a really big weird robot cobra. In not a threatening way.
Yeah, it's weird. Weird.
This is another. This episode actually brings back a very time-honored Kamen Rider tradition.
What's that?
The crowd of people cheering Kamen Rider on.
Yes.
This is a scene that's going to be very familiar to folks who've watched a lot of Rider. Definitely one of the first ones that came to my brain was Kamen Rider Double. The scene happened in the Gaia Memory movie. They've done the version of the scene in, I believe, Ghost. So yeah, it's a moment where it's a tradition to have the people of the town just.
Who were they initially cheering for, though?
Well, they say Kamen Riders, so I think they know, like, all the Kamen Riders are in that tower helping out.
But at this, like, during the fight, he was like at his lowest, and
he needed this.
I
think that's a cool thing about that's true. Like, it's even though they said Kamen Riders, so they're kind of talking about all of them who were in there. Gentoku's the one who needed to hear that. He was bloodied and like
beaten. And he had one mission during that fight, is to take down that trigger.
Yeah.
To take down that trigger, and
we got the awesome broken helmet thing.
Yeah, which I don't think we've seen yet in this series.
Not in this show.
No.
Everyone, if you watch a lot of Henshin shows, Tokusatsu shows, you know when someone's helmet is broken.
It's towards the end of their fight.
Business. Yeah. That's hardcore business time. Gentoku needed that push, because now we got his big ol' final. I guess I have to say it. His big ol' final fight with a Volt.
He really like went at it. He was done with that. He was under the impression that he wasn't walking away from this, because he knew that if he were to walk away from it, he was unsure if he was going to be able to like live up to the reputation of his father, or like, carry on his legacy. And which is weird that he was down on his luck, but they were cheering him on, and that didn't give him like enough reason for him to fight on, so he can lead the country after.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, he sacrificed himself in order to get rid of that trigger, in order to weaken the Evolt.
The Evolt, yeah, because I think he had to destroy his like hazard trigger that's on his belt.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, yeah.
And
it leads with probably one of my favorite images in the show.
Yes.
Gentoku passes, Gentoku's dying, and what's a great detail is if you see it right now, there is
the shadow.
The shadow, and it's the shadow of his rider form.
Yeah.
And I thought that's such a good detail.
You know what's another interesting thing that I didn't notice until just now? Mm-hmm. The color of his aura is his suit. The color of Grease's was his suit, or his previous suit.
His suit, yeah, it's gold, and so here, his is the same as here. Yeah, like Gentoku's aura is purple. It actually goes back to even when the Smash Brothers when they died.
The red and the blue.
Exactly.
What I wanted to get, like I wanted to get dog tags for like.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. And I've seen they do sell.
Yeah.
They do sell.
They actually have like little booths. So.
Yeah.
Some dog tags for the finale of Henshin.
Would that be cool?
Our finale of Kamen Rider Build.
Yeah. So he goes out, and it's kind of interesting watching because much like Cosman's death, like we also saw like a little bit of how he was in the beginning of the show, and how he was his relationship with the rest of the characters. And Gentoku had a really big arc. Mm-hmm. He was the bad guy.
Yeah, he was the villain.
Yeah,
he was a creepy one too. I mean, remember the first episode was with him and Sawa.
Awkward. Yeah.
But so you saw that when he was kind of phasing away, that she was sad that he was leaving as well.
Talk about what a difference a year makes.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
She's screaming for his in fear that he's dying, which is what happened. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One thing I'm gonna be sad we're not gonna get his cool, awesome shirts.
I know.
Or his fashion style.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Which of the shirts he's worn, what do you think is his best shirt?
The ones where he's just answering a question.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are funny.
I think he beat Banjo in awkward shirts because they decided to point at it. Because Banjo for a while had some of the awkward shirts.
But they didn't really acknowledge it.
He was
just wearing it.
He was wearing it because apparently wearing like I think my favorite weird one of Banjo is your social media photos better. Which I'm like, why is he wearing that? Whereas Gentoku's shirts are clearly pointed out. Also available at Bandai. I think they actually really are selling those shirts.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait. Gentoku shirts?
Yeah, I think they're selling Gentoku shirts. So
I'm gonna buy some. I'm gonna buy
it. Please.
And then I'm gonna.
And then wear like a leather jacket over it, and then rock it.
Yeah. Another cool scene is earlier in the episode. They're talking about how Banjo had to survive this.
Yeah.
Because he was the only one with Evolt's DNA to accomplish what they were trying to accomplish. But towards the end of the episode, they weakened Evolt. They got the dark bottles and converted them back to light bottles.
Yeah.
See, I don't understand.
Same. It's so. It's too much.
They had a light panel or something.
It's.
I don't know.
They changed the bottle to help their benefit. Let's go with that.
Yeah. But then Banjo's like, hey, I have Evolt's DNA in me. It only makes sense that I take them into the little rift.
Yeah.
The little rift between two worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And so he sacrificed himself. So the fact that so I understand Grease being gone.
Yeah.
I kind of understand Gentoku being gone. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they're killing off Banjo makes it seem like no, these deaths are not solidified.
That's a fair point.
It's kind of like at the end of Infinity War where they killed off Spider-Man and Black Panther.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Jezzer.
Spoiler alert. I'm sorry.
Come on.
So I don't think maybe one or two of these deaths is gonna stick, but I don't think all of them are.
That's a fair point. Yeah. You're saying that Gentoku wasn't ready to go yet.
maybe I think Gentoku comes back. I think maybe Grease comes back and Banjo stays.
Yeah.
I think Banjo
for sure will come back. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So we'll see.
So,
yeah. Did you like these episodes?
I did like these episodes. This really we're at the end. And,
one more.
And we got one more, and so these episodes have to bring it and throw down and don't take any prisoners. You probably
already know this is my first actual Kamen Rider show.
I do know this is your first Kamen Rider show.
But I was under the impression that they were going to be riding on bikes.
Well,
What happened to their bikes?
Oh,
He had like a cell phone that turned into a bike.
I know. I don't know.
So they just threw that out the window.
They tend to do this a lot with writer shows where it's like,
so why even call it a writer show?
Because he started to have a bike, and at some point they forgot the bike because
it didn't play into the story. Let's add more bottles. Let's add more cubes. We can't sell bikes, but we can sell bottles.
Every show, not every show, like the last 5 shows, they forget these bikes.
Really? And
it drives me. Like Ghost had a bike. I honestly think Kamen Rider Ghost had a bike for 2 episodes, and they never used it again.
Do you think there's like a website where they're auctioning off these set bikes because you didn't use them?
No, I think like they save it for like like conventions and movie appearances and movies, etc. I agree though. I agree. They are lacking bikes in a show called Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
Other than that,
yes,
it's a good show. It's 2 gut-wrenching episodes. I can't wait to watch the final episode. I hope you guys are excited about it too. But hey, looks like you got something else ready for the show up.
So we were at ParaMorphCon this weekend.
Yes.
And I saw quite a bit of Kamen Riders. I saw Lupinrangers. I saw civilian Patrangers.
Yes.
I didn't see too many like Rangers.
Yeah.
I even saw a gold Lupin X.
I saw him too. Yeah.
But you got to attend a Kamen Rider build meetup, right?
I saw. Yeah, it was actually an all-rider meetup.
Oh, so it was an all-rider meetup.
It was an all-rider, but there were plenty of Kamen Rider build cosplayers, and
it looked like there was a lot of banjo, a lot of Mitan,
a lot of banjo, a lot of. Oh, actually, one. It was just one.
Oh, it was just
one Mitan, yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, that is Destiny Ambers, who is the new, she's the current editor-in-chief of TokuNet. So,
okay.
But I plenty of Sentos. It's a lot of fun, and like we got an Isarugi there too. If you didn't notice,
Dang. Is this guy right there?
It's that guy right there. So that's pretty cool.
One. I think he may work at Starbucks. Maybe that's where he got the.
His legit green. Maybe, yeah.
And that's one thing. Whatever happened to the guy in the coma?
Actual Isarugi? I keep wondering that. And, like, I even looked it up to go, like, did I miss someone saying he died?
Is he still in a coma?
Yeah. That's kind of my other weird problem with the Vault using Isarugi's face right now, is that part of me wishes, like...
That he didn't?
Either you killed Isarugi.
That way...
And that way that Vault using Isarugi's face is, like, 8 times more...
Yeah.
Like, villainous. Or you address what happened to Isarugi. Or you just have a Vault, like, just possess him again.
Yeah, definitely.
Except you're kind of,
Or they had that one weird episode where he was just possessing so many different people.
Lighthouse says, I think he died, but they never said it. Like, I tried to look up if there's any real, like, hardcore, he died.
Yeah, the last time I saw him, he was still in the bed.
It's a coma. And there's a bit we saw, like, like, a flat line, but I mean I guess we can assume. I mean that's obvious. I mean that's pretty obvious that he died, but no one ever said it.
It doesn't seem like Mitan's affected by it though.
That's right. That's why I'm not sure.
That's her dad.
Yeah.
Like, why is she not bringing this to the table or whatever?
I don't know.
And how about Vernage?
She's been very quiet.
Vernage's been very quiet.
Yeah.
Like, are they holding it off for the very last episode where she's going to play a big part in this? Because. I mean, she probably could have helped out a little bit during this fight. Maybe we wouldn't have lost some riders in these last 2 episodes. But
what up, Vernage?
She's scared. She's playing she's like the Hulk that doesn't want to come out because she got beat by Evil.
But anyway, that's it. That's wrapped up on these last 2 on these more recent episodes. And next week
we got one new episode of Lupat.
And
the finale. And then how does it play out? So does it jump right into the next one, into Zio?
That's the funny thing. As soon as we finish up build and we get our emotions all centered, you got another new writer show immediately.
I am excited about it, especially if they're throwing time travel in it.
Time travel, guest appearances. They're promising a bunch of stuff for Zio. And since you are a new writer fan, I'm looking forward to watching the show with you and of hearing how you're going to react to references to older shows.
I'm not going to know. So I mean, there's that one episode when they're having that battle with the Gear Brothers where they
with Zio. I mean, with Kamen Rider Zio, the show after this. So it's like, because Kamen Rider Zio's whole point is to celebrate 20 years of Heisei Kamen Rider shows.
Oh, okay.
So we'll the first 2 episodes will actually bring back Build. So we'll see Sento or some version of Sento back. The next 2 episodes will be about X-Aid. But then after that,
they're going backwards.
They're going backwards. But after that, we're gonna. I've heard already episode 4 and 5, or no, 5 and 6 will be about Forze. So we will.
You're excited about that.
Which I'm very excited about. So we'll be finding out. We'll be visiting other Kamen Rider shows. I'm curious to know what happens when we get to the early 2000s because. They shot shows differently back then. They'll look very different, and some of those actors will not. Listen, none of those actors will look the same.
Yeah.
Kuga's actor, Joe Odagiri, will, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't want to come back to Rider ever again. He's like Chris Eccleston that way in terms of Doctor Who. Like Doctor Who, yeah. It's like he's just
done with it.
He's just done with it. Doesn't want to.
Yeah, you have to respect it. Sometimes they want to. They want to close the door on that, and they don't want to ever have to open it up again.
Exactly. So we'll find out how they address those when we get to Zio, and I can't wait to talk about Zio with him and Johnny. But we have to get ready to wrap up.
Yes,
Build, and that is next week.
I'm hoping that it's not gonna just drain me emotionally for the next one.
I can't guarantee anything.
Yeah.
I can't. You just have to find out. Okay, so that's it for this week.
Hey, Justin, so where can we find you on social media, buddy?
You can find me on Instagram at JustinQuiz, Twitter at JustinKeizon. Like I said last episode, I have 2 podcasts, but I'm retiring one of them. Aww. So it's Benvio and Spielberg will be the one that's getting retired. We haven't recorded our last episode yet. I had to delay it, so please check out Benvio and Spielberg when our last episode will pop up, and we'll explain why I'm retiring that show. I also have Nothing New, a remake podcast, and I just started another new podcast called Morning Word, which is about the creative writing process. I started that last month. And also, you can find my work on agentsofgar.com, and also, once again, my free webcomic I co-created with Victor Perfecto called Shining Yusha.
That's awesome.
There we go. Jezzer?
All social media at Jezzer Reyes.
I gotta just condense everything to Justin Quiz, you know?
That's great.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
What? Oh, yeah.
So what's up? We got things.
We'll be back. We're gonna be doing a After Dark with our special guest over here. Mm-hmm. So tune in to Pop Culture Renegades. You guys, I was gonna say, no, I wasn't. So if you guys haven't subscribed to Pop Culture Renegades, why haven't you? That's where all After Darks are gonna be from now on. So be sure to subscribe to that because we're gonna be coming at you with another After Dark. We haven't done once. Yeah, so it's so this After Dark is gonna be how to get into geek entertainment. So,
i.e. what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how to do what we are trying or what we are doing.
So stay tuned and check us out.
Pop Culture Renegades. The links in the bio, and subscribe to Pop Culture Renegades because we're gonna be bringing some new content. But also
subscribe to here.
That hashtag show.
Hard smash that like button. I'm gonna keep doing that joke till the show's over.
Yeah.
So,
and come back next Saturday when we're gonna do the finale of Kamen Rider Build. So it's gonna be exciting.
Join us for that, please. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for watching. Stick around for Pop Culture Renegades. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to keep up to date with everything trending
in geek pop culture. See ya.